Hello and welcome to Padayon YouTube channel. This is for Class 7, Chapter 7 Human Environment, Settlement, Transport and Communication. In Chapter 1st, you have learned that early humans being depend entirely on natural for food, clothing and shelter. But with the time, they learn new skills to grow food, build homes and develop better means of transport and communication. In this way, they modify the environment where they lived. So, human developed a skill to grow foods, build homes, and travel nearby places and communication with each other. Settlement are places where people build their homes. Early human beings lived on trees and in caves. When they started to grow crops, it became necessary to have a permanent home. This settlement grew near the river valleys as water was available and the land was fertile. With the development of trade, commerce, and manufacturing, human settlement became larger. Settlement flourished and civilizations developed near river valleys. Do you recall the name of civilizations that grew along the bank of river Indus, Tigris, Nile, and Huanghe? So once human lived at one place that is known as a settlement. Settlement can be permanent or temporary. Settlements which are occupied for a short time are called temporary settlements. The people living in the deep forest, hot and cold desert, and mountains often dwells in such temporary settlements. They practice hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation, and transhumance. However, more and more settlements today are permanent settlements. In these settlements, people build homes to live in. So here is an example given that they have find a place where the traffic jams in cities and the pollution number of vehicles increasing day by day, and they ask that where are these people coming from, why this much of the traffic in our village or in a city, why there is no traffic in the villages. So from that conversation, we can identify two different pictures of settlement, the rural and the urban settlements. The villages are rural settlements where the people are engaged in activity like agriculture, fishing, forestry, craft works, and trading, etc. Rural settlement can be compact or scattered. A compact settlement is closely built area of a dwellings wherever flat land is available. In a scattered settlement, dwellings are spaced over an extensive area. This type of settlement is mostly found in a hilly tracts, thick forest, and regions of extreme climate. In rural areas, people build houses to suit their environment. In regions of a heavy rainfall, they have set slanting roofs, places where water accumulates. In the rainy seasons, the houses are constructed on a raised platform or stilts. So people make their houses according to the places they live to protect themselves from the climate conditions over there. Thick mud walled houses with a thatched roof are very common in areas of a hot climate. Local materials like stones, mud, clay, straw, etc. are used to construct houses. The towns are small and the cities are larger urban settlements. In urban area, the people are engaged in manufacturing, trading, services. Name some of the villages, towns and cities of your state. and find out how and what the activity people does, what type of settlements are there. If we talk about transport, transport is the means by which people and goods move from one place to another place. In the early days, it took a great deal of time to travel long distances. People had to walk and use animals to carry their goods. Invention of the wheel made transport easier. With the passage of time, different means of transport developed. But even today, people use animals for transport. In our country, donkey, mules, bullocks, and camels are common. In the Andes mountain of South America, llamas are used. Llamas are used, as are yak in Tibet. The early traders from the countries used to take several months to reach India. They took either the sea route or the land route. Airplanes have made travel faster. Now it takes only 6 and 8 hours to travel from India to Europe. Modern means of transport thus have saved times and energy. The four major transport means of transport are roadways, railways, waterways, and airways. The most common used means of transport, especially for short distance, are roads. So they can be a metalled pakka and unmetalled kacha. The plain have a dense network of roads. Roads have also been built in the terrains like deserts, forests, and even high mountains. Manali Leh Highway in Himalaya mountain is one of the highest roadway in the world. Roads built underground are called subways. Underpath flyovers are built over raised structures. Railways. The railways carry heavy goods and people over a long distance quickly and cheaply. The invention of the steam engine and industrial revolution helped in the speedy development of rail transport. Diesel and electric engines have largely replaced the steam engine. In place, super-fast trains have been introduced to make the journey faster. The railway network is well developed over plains areas. Advanced technology skills have enabled laying of the railway lines in a difficult mountain terrain also. But this much fewer in the number. Indian railway network is well developed. It is the largest in Asia. Waterways. So you have already learned that since the early days, waterways used for transportation. Waterways are the cheapest for carrying heavy and bulky goods over a long distance. They are mainly of two types, inland waterways and sea waterways. So inland waterways that are used within the country and by use of the mostly rivers. Navigable rivers and lakes are used as an inland waterways. Some of the important inland waterways are the Ganga Brahmaputra river system, the Great Lake in North America, and the River Nile in Africa. Sea route and oceanic routes are mostly used for transporting merchandise and goods from one country to another. These routes are connected with the port. Some of the important ports of the world are Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York, Los Angeles in North America, Rio de Janeiro in South America, Durban and Cape Town in Africa, Sydney in Australia, London and Rotterdam in Europe. Can you name some more ports of the world? So the port is the place where the heavy goods were carried. Airways. This is the fastest way of transport, developed in the early 20th century. It is also the most expensive due to the high cost of fuel. Air traffic is adversely affected by bad weather like a fog and storms. It is the only mode of transport to reach the most remote and distant areas, especially where there are no roads and railways. Helicopters are extremely useful in most inaccessible areas and in a time of calamities for rescuing people and distributing foods, water, clothes, and medicines. Some of the important airports are Delhi, Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, Frankfurt, and Cairo. Communication. Now, if we talk about the communication, means the process of conveying a message to others. With the development of technology, humans have devised new and fast mode of communication. This figure explains that the evolution of the communication system. The advancement in the field of communication has brought about an information revolution in the world. Different modes of communication are used to provide information, to educate, as well as to entertain. Through newspaper, radio, and television, we can communicate with a large number of people. When we communicate with such a large audience, they are therefore called a mass media. The satellites have made communication even faster. Satellites have helped in oil explorations, surveys of forest, underground water, mineral wealth, weather forecast, and disaster warning. Now we can send electronic mails or emails through the internet. Wireless telephonic communication through cellular phones have become very popular today. Internet not only provides us with a worldwide information and interaction, but has also made our lives more comfortable. Now we can reserve a ticket for railway, airways, and even a cinemas and a hotel sitting at home with this kind of the instrument of interconnectivity of people serving an institution across the world. We are largely global society now. So that's the end of the chapter.